In 2011, Daily Mail reported in an article that shocked the nation as their favorite lifestyle sports brand, Nike, has been revealed with numerous unethical allegations. Nike has been verbally and physically abusing their workers at factories. About 14 years ago, reports were made regarding abuse in the factories overseas where productions were taking place. The unethical issues involving factory sites were low wage payment, working conditions, child labor, and also restriction policies. Nike is known to be very committed in producing high-quality products. Hence, the quality control of each of their products has been strictly controlled and stipulated in details in their contract with suppliers. However, Nike has failed in paying attention to the factory site's working conditions. People accept as true that environment is not only about green issues, but consists of community and people welfare. When Life magazine first published an article on child labor in June 1996, Nike was criticized over their use of child labor. Nike suffered from calls by consumer groups, NGOs, and trade unions to boycott Cellcoat-produced soccer balls. A photo of a 12-year-old boy, Tariq, was seen stitching soccer balls for a mere 60 cents a day. Policies such as restriction access to drinking water, toilet breaks, and non-talking periods were implemented in 25 to 50% of Nike factories. Based on Carroll's theory in CSR, a firm's responsibility is to focus on economic, legal, ethic, and lastly, philanthropic model. Carroll believes that a firm's economic responsibility within business context is to provide goods and services with value to the society, Carroll considers that organizations' responsibility is to maximize profits for the shareholder and owners. In the case of Nike's labor issue, they only perform their business in Nike's favor, not towards the society. In legal responsibilities, it is the business objective to obey governments in laws with respect to corporate behavior. In the US, it is illegal to have an underage to work, but despite having such law enforced, Nike broke this law by hiring children from another country to produce their goods. Ethical responsibilities of an organization's management concern societal expectations that goes beyond the law, such as the expectation that organizations will conduct their affairs in a fair and just way. And lastly, philanthropic responsibility refers to society's expectation that organizations to be good citizens.
Business does not have a social responsibility in the sense of having an obligation to promote desirable social ends. For example, clean environment, fulfilling jobs, prejudice-free society, and so on. A firm should utilize its resources and engage in activities that design to increase its profits as long as it plays within the rules and regulations. He believes that a firm's primary objective is to maximize the profit and shareholders' wealth. By taking on the burden of social costs, the business becomes less efficient. For example, prices goes up to pay for increased costs, or investment in new activities and research is postponed. For example, Jolinsky states that sweatshop creates job opportunities that help eliminate poverty. Economists believe that in the long run, sweatshop could raise the standard of living as it increased the disposable income of the communities that trigger economic development. It also provides opportunity for women to generate another source of income. Firms are responsible to only their shareholders. Purely for economic reasons, they would have to maximize the shareholders' profit by using the money efficiently and increase their profits.
Zwolenski argues that the shutdown of sweatshops would severe their living situation as they become unemployed, and it is best to provide jobs rather do nothing to help. It is also common for children to work in underdeveloped countries for a living despite being seen as unethical in developed countries.
Therefore, in Friedman's traditional view, Nike is merely acting at the interest of its shareholders by accessing to cheap production for lower costs. In fact, the sweatshops are owned by the third party. Thus, Nike hasn't violated any rules and regulations. Nike has no any legal obligation in these issues.